something about podcasts? Hey, yo, dígame. You kidding me or what, man? I got these three drunk uncles with a sports podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. You find them wherever you listen to podcasts at. If it's what they say it is, you like and you subscribe. Listen, like, and subscribe, yeah. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man, do the Podbean app. You'll need headphones with a mic to call in. That's no problem, man. They'll also be at Sharky's, 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free Blue Chew. And they keep receipts or so. If anything happens in the sports world, MyT's gonna drop a take faster than a rabbit gets fucked. There's only three things I have in this world. My word, my balls, and this podcast. And I don't break them for nobody. MyT Sports Season 7.
I guess it's time to throw this curtain up and hit you with the good evening and welcome back to the MyT Sports Podcast. I am still your host, the one and only Talentoma Taylor. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. It is officially May 27th. It is the first day of Memorial Day weekend. And can I tell you, I forgot it was Memorial Day weekend. I don't got shit planned. Uh-oh. Alright, I ain't got shit planned at all, but folks, it is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. Like we said, it's May 27th. They said we was gonna have highs of 87, lows of 75. It definitely decided to rain today in my neck of the woods. So for me, I had 100% chance of rain. I don't know about yous or rest of you, but where I was at, it definitely got a little bit of shout, folks. We got a big show for you today on this Freaky Friday, folks, and more TGIF. Ain't that right, folks? We're gonna talk about the Warriors as they stop playing games and they run through the tape. We got a Gevante Davis fight coming up this weekend, and we're gonna talk about how that may possibly help change some of his rankings, right? We're gonna get into about Embiid and his tweets. We're gonna talk about how the Nets have knuckled up. Of course, you know I got a Blue Chew promo code for you. We're gonna talk about Brittany Grinder as well. Day 99, folks. Brittany watch day 99. We have Heat Celtics actually on right now. Well, we got a championship matchup that is just waiting to be lit, folks. If you're ready for all the smoke and you're ready to start the podcast, let us go ahead and start this motherfucking show. Because you know what we say here, regardless of the time.
Take that.
And regardless of the weather.
You play to win the game. Hello?
It's always a good time to talk some sports. So let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Oh, look at yo. I'm sorry. So I'm over here watching. So I ain't get the game on yet. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't get the game on yet. But I have a half wholehearted good reason for that. And that half wholehearted good reason is that I'm out here watching. I was watching Boruto. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, that's at its highest peak. I was out here watching Boruto and you know, I'm gonna get a little shot. I see you, Jack Cole is a little no more sports. Oh shit. Don't worry. You know what? I almost forgot. We got to get our birthday party popping off real soon, folks. Actually, we got a big podcast for you guys. Man, the things that we have to talk about on this Friday night. Now, can I tell you what's going on, Marlon? Pippin? Can I tell you guys? I thought I was gonna get shit started early. Like I was on the road. Started getting everything prepared earlier today. I was like, okay, I'm gonna come in here. We're gonna get the podcast rolling early. Maybe if I'm lucky, I get the podcast started like 6:30ish. Maybe by halftime of the game, I'll be, you know what I mean? I'll be done potting. I'll go take a shower and go head out to the bar and go see what's popping. Crumble all that shit up. You see what fucking time it is. Like, like the game has already started and we're just now potting. It bees like that. It bees like that. But that's what happens when you bees in the trap. Right, folks, we got a big show for you guys today. I hope you guys are really enjoying the show. Don't forget where you can find the podcast at. You can find the podcast basically anywhere that you find that you listen to podcasts that you listen to your podcast at. Whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on YouTube, that's Twitch. We have a call-in line on Podbean. You can also that didn't work the last time. I was gonna start opening up a call-in line through Instagram, but that didn't work. I didn't like how that worked the last time. So we gotta cut that out. No. So we still have the way to call in through Podbean if you guys want to call in through the show. But also, like, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you like and you comment during the podcast. We do enjoy all fan interaction, and we definitely read your comments out during the show. But also, if you haven't done so already, you go ahead and you subscribe to the podcast. That way that you can hear that little bing bong every single time that we go on. If you understand what I'm trying to tell you guys right now. Exactly. Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get ready for the podcast. There's something that we like to do every single time that we start the show, right? And it's that we like to start the show off with a little bit of a birthday party, folks. Yes, folks. And what we do for our birthday party is that we give everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air a little birthday shout out. So if you have anybody that has a birthday, go ahead and start flooding me with those names, and we will go ahead and include them in our birthday party. But we're about to go ahead and get that party started for you real soon. You know, like my boy Chill Will likes to say, because he doesn't like to be excluded from the podcast. Ayo, DJ MyT, go ahead and drop that beat for me. I likes that. You likes that? I know you like that. Yeah, because it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. Yeah, check it. Yeah, because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. It's your birthday. Woo! You hear that already?
There is a reminder for Talon.
Folks, this is a reminder that it's Friday. TGI, yeah, Freaky Friday. It's time for us to get our birthday freak. I hope you caught that birthday song, folks. We're gonna go through one more time for you guys. Ready? 'Cause yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. It's your birthday. Yeah, the first birthday we would like to give a shout out to is our homegirl, Steph Cohen. I know you're wondering, like, yo, didn't you just give a birthday shout out to a Jack Cohen on your last podcast? If you're thinking that, how astute of you, yo, you are very observant. Yes, I did. And if you're wondering, yo, is that his sister? No, that's his wife. Yes, folks, they have birthdays on back-to-back days, folks. It is amazing. They celebrate together, and it's funny too, because it's basically 48 hours of birthday sex. Like, it's basically one day, one person gets all of the receiving, and the next day the other person gets all of the receiving. You understand? We're talking about a birthday sextravaganza over here. Savasana. You don't understand what I'm saying. We're bringing the body to peace. So I want to say happy birthday to my homegirl Steph. It was her birthday yesterday, right? Also want to say happy birthday. We got a couple birthdays today, right? We have a couple birthdays today. What's going on, Joe? We got a couple birthdays today. Want to say happy birthday to my homeboy John Avito. You understand, yo, long-time brethren of mine, known this dude since I've been in the army. You know, he was a civilian now, but I meant since I've been in the army. Want to say happy birthday to my homeboy Avito. I'm actually kind of surprised that he has, especially since his birthday's on a Friday. Kind of surprised that he ain't hit me up for something that's going on for his birthday today. But you know what though? I guarantee you, if I hit him up, I'm like, hey, yo, John, what you got goings on for your birthday, he's gonna tell me, hey, you make your way down to XYZ, right? Or to Triple D Entertainment Center, and you'll find me there in the VIP room exchanging presidents for hams. Like it was Thanksgiving. What's going on, Joanna? It was lovely seeing you the other day. Check it, yeah. And also want to say happy birthday to my homeboy Joshua, aka Washua Goldie. You understand, a former co-worker of mine. You understand, like, damn, like, how old is your? Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna say how old is your son now, because you've had like 5 kids now since the last time that we worked together, folks. And as you guys know, we got the game on in the background, folks. We got the Miami versus Boston game. Miami is currently down 3-2. Boston were on a 7-0 run to be able to close the lead out to a 3-point lead. So they were down by 9 points. Miami Heat has started out a little bit faster than they did in the last couple of games, folks. It's still early. We're still talking about we have 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. We'll continue to give you guys an update on this game, and then trust me, we'll get into some Heat talk. We'll talk some Heat talk for all you Heat fans out there. We'll talk some Celtics talk for all you Celtics fans out there. We won't leave you guys stranded. We won't leave you guys, you know what I mean, over there on Gilligan's Island or in some foreign country where you cannot be reached or saved. We got you. We got you here. So what we want to do, folks, what we going to do, right? Let's go ahead and wrap up the party. Let's go ahead and wrap up the birthday party, right? So to Steph and to John and to Joshua, we want to say happy birthday. We hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. Hope you regret nothing. But more importantly, get your weekend at Bernie's on and continue to stay MyT. Got that big birthday energy. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. We gon' give it to him. T gon' give it to him. My T gon' give it to him. My T gon' give it to T gon' give it to you. We gon' give it to you. T gon' give it to you. We gon' give it to you. T gon' give it to you. We gon'. Alright, I think I'm done wildin' for the day. Alright. Hey, like my boy Chill Will say, right? Hey, yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and cut that beat for me. Alrighty. What do I have here? I want to see if I can put a cup in another cup. Nah, I can't use that cup. Can't put a cup in another cup. Let me take a little sip of I meant to put alcohol in here and I forgot. I ain't gonna lie. I really did mean to put some alcohol in and I completely forgot. So, let's go ahead and start getting into the podcast for this evening. And I ain't gonna lie. It's only because not only do I want to get this game on, right? I want to get this game on, and I really want to hear this game. I really want it to be done by halftime. I really, really, really want it to be done by halftime. But I don't think that's gonna happen here today. So let's go ahead and get things done. Cause I just wanted to hear I just wanted it to you know, yeah, you guys know what I mean. Alrighty, let's get into not our first topic of the day, but what is kind of our pre-subject of the day, and it's been our pre-subject probably for the last. Let's see now. I want to say. How long ago was probably about 85 days ago? What's that? How long is that? Damn. What's that? 11, 12 weeks ago? 4 months now? 12 weeks? 3 months. It's been about 3 months now that we've been doing this. So,
Hey, ladies.
All right. Well, the way we started out the podcast, probably not for the last 3 months. For the last, very specifically now, it feels like 12 weeks. It sounds like, right? Is that? Oh, he's about to expand some shit. The fuck did he just drop on them? Yo, Baruto, this is when you gotta come in here for real, or you other clones better do something. Alright, sorry. I told you guys I'm watching Naruto as well while I'm doing the podcast. Probably that's such the best thing to do because I'm watching Boruto. I finally just got like 200, like finally passed like episode 200, and I feel like shit started getting real. Like shit just started getting real, and I'm like, wait, what? Aliens? We got motherfucking aliens now? Like, yo, we got clones, cyborgs, and aliens. Like, that's where we're at now in the ninja world. Like, this shit is bananas. So, let's get back in there.
Hey, ladies.
All right, so for the last 99 days, folks, I should say for the last 99 days, we've had one of our own American citizens that has been detained in Russia on what can only be described as trumped up weed charges, folks. Who is being detained is one of our top tier athletes, folks. We're talking about somebody that has been a champion, a 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring leader, an 8-time block leader, 2-time peak performer, 3-time first team, 3-time NBA second team, 2-time defensive player of the year, 3-time defensive first team, 4-time defensive second team, all rookie team, NCAA champion, most outstanding player, AP player of the year, 3-time Big 12 player of the year, 4-time defensive player of the year, you understand, high school player of the year, and to be honestly, that's just about half of her resume, folks. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the third woman in WNBA history to ever dunk a ball in a game, and that is one Brittany Grinder, folks. Yes, Brittany Grinder has been detained by Russia, has been wrong. Let me say this over again. Has been wrongfully detained by Russia for the last 99 days. For the last 99 days has been wrongfully held hostage in Russia on these trumped up weed charges. Now, oh my God, okay, Jimmy Butler early on in this game, 14 points, 6 for 10 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And what we're seeing, man, I still want to talk about this game. Like, that's the reason why I wanted to start this game early. I really wanted to talk about like some keys to victory and what I've been seeing from the last couple of games to this game right here, and why Miami has been looking so lackluster. But if this is an indication of anything else, it looks like they may have figured out. May have figured out they all figured out the kind of energy that's needed to continue winning. But I don't even think it's an energy thing, to be honest with you. Like it could be just an effort thing more than anything else. So, as we said before, right? Brittany Grinder has been held hostage for the last 99 days. When we come back on Monday, she would have been detained for over 100 days. Now, we have gotten a recent update, right? And that recent update, and unless I'm always looking for updates, but the most recent update is that now, that I heard, and I don't know how long they've been able to do this, but I just recently saw that they had this capability, right? And what that is and what that and what that is that they now have the capability of writing to her, right? So let's see exactly. Thank you. I see people liking the video. So let's see exactly how that plays out and what that does. Because you have to figure, like, for somebody like her, right, in her position, any kind of interaction with not only the outside world, but with your peers, right, has to do you some kind of good. Because, like I said, I don't know how long it's been that she hasn't been able to communicate with anybody. I don't know how long it has been that she hasn't been able to write her former teammates or her spouse or play people that she or her peers and people that she played with. But I know that I just recently heard that she can. So now that the fact that she's able to get that kind of human interaction again, or some kind of interaction with the outside world, but especially from people that are closer, that has to do good. Just for like her sanity and her mental well-being, at you know what I mean, just whatever mental well-being that you're talking about, that she can have. So, again, for who knows how many times now we've said this, but again, let's go ahead and hope that Brittany Grinder, that she gets a speedy or expedient return to the United States, but also just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. More than anything, just keep her in your thoughts and prayers if you can, because that's really all most of us can currently do at this time, because for most of us, we're as helpless as anybody else. The only thing that we can do is rely on whatever energy or entity gives us faith and hope. With that said, I know there's no easy way to ever move on, but let's talk about teams that have faith, have hope, and some teams that no longer have any faith or any hope. Let's get into our first topic of the day.
First things first.
And that is the Warriors, as they have now advanced to the NBA Finals. For what has been, how many times has this been now? What, they have 3 rings themselves, right? They lost one to the Cavs, right? They lost one to the Cavs, and they lost one to Toronto. I don't remember them making it during the Heatles days. Like, basically, like, they started their run right after the time of the Heatles. So, we're talking about in the last decade now. We're talking about now, it was about to be the 6th appearance to an NBA Finals for Stephen Curry in the last 10 years. And just in the last 10 years, right? We know that it's been. I know that if you want to shorten the time, you can make it sound a whole lot better. But let's just keep it simple. In the last 10 years, they've been there 6 times. They're about to go. They're going there now for. They're about to go there for the 6th time officially. Now, as he goes there for the 6th time, Stephen Curry is going to have to do something that we scrutinize LeBron James for. He can't go here and lose, because he's going to start getting to that point where, oh, I'm going there, but that's not winning at a high enough clip. 50%, right? But before we get all the way down there, let's talk about how these Warriors have completely dismantled the Dallas Mavericks. And I remember coming into this series and everybody wondering, how you gonna stop the Mavs? How you gonna go at Luka? PJ Tucker's finally hitting his corner 3-point shot. Like, finally, shit. Right? I want to see a Game 7. Listen, I know I'm selfish, but I'm only selfish based off of where I'm at right now. I have to watch both of my enemies battle to make it to the finals. If I'm going to watch them battle to make it into the finals, I want to see them go all 7 games. I exactly what's happening to them, I want to see more of it. I want to see every day. I just want to see people. I'm talking about just people and anybody. I'm talking about. I just want to see bodies hit the floor. We're talking about Lowry, Hero, Tucker, Strauss, You know what I mean? Gabe Vincent, Jimmy, Tatum, Smart, Hauser, Williams. All these guys with lingering injuries, whatever. Continue to pile them up. Put on some more on there. Let's add some more names to the list. Let's by the time they face the Golden State Warriors, I want these teams to be a shell of themselves. I want the Golden State Warriors to be the gentlemen that they are and continue to gentlemen sweep teams out of the playoffs. Because this is exactly what they did to the Dallas Mavericks, or the Mavericks of Dallas. As the Boston Celtics have now taken this game within one. As they have given them the sweeping of gentlemen. And I ponder, many moons ago, I ponder, why is this called the sweeping of the gentlemen? When this is clearly, very clearly, just another form of a royal ass whooping. But I understand as I does my research more. A gentleman does not whoopeth ass and say that I have beat that ass. No, they're too much of a gentleman for such foul language and such uncouth analogies. No. What a gentleman is that I have just given you a gentleman's sweep. Meaning that I have just knocked you off your feet and drug your ass up and down the floor. It's a gentleman's sweep. But I am too much of a gentleman to talk so uncouthly. And the Warriors of Golden State, and their golden child, and their light-skinned warriors, and their green ogre, they are true gentlemen of the game of basketball. And they have swept the Mavericks of Dallas in a game where it will beat them 120 to 110. And I kid you not, it was not that close. This was by all means, yes, folks, the sweeping of the gentlemen as they can be. They beat that ass in this fifth game. And we had good performances, right? Stephen Curry, 15 points, 2 for 7 shooting, 2 for 7 for 3.9, 5 for 17. We've seen Klay Thompson go off for 32 points. I ain't gonna lie. I was watching this game, and I'm watching Klay, right? As I like to call him, Sugar Klay Thompson, right? I'm watching Sugar Klay Thompson go out and oh wait, is he about to go full? See, alrighty. I feel like Naruto's about to go full beast mode for once, since I've seen this show. Like, let your natural instinct take over. I'm letting it all to you. Fight like an animal. What's up, plus? He got your foot on your son. Can't take that shit. Fuck, you got your foot on my son for? I'll knock you the fuck out. So, let's get back into this. Right, Stephen Curry, he does it. He puts up 15 points, right? 2 for 7 from the 3-point range, 5 for 17 shooting. For people that say that he isn't really in a, like, see, so many different rhetorics piss me off. When it comes to so many different rhetorics piss me off when it comes to Stephen Curry sometimes, because people always talk about, when they talk about Stephen Curry being a point guard, they're like, he's not a true point guard, he's not a this, he's not a that, right? He's a scorer and all that. But you do realize that point guards today are required to score. Rajon Rondos are liabilities. Right? Unless they do more. Unless they do more like Marcus Smart or Kyle Lowry. These guys are bums and naturally they'll be liabilities. Not Marcus Smart. Kyle Lowry is. Right? So, for years, we've been needing more points from our point guard. And now we get point guards that score more. And now we don't want to put them in point guard categories. They call Dame Lillard more of a point guard than Stephen Curry. And to me, Dame Lillard is more of a scorer than Stephen Curry is. In a weird-ass way. But here goes your non-scorer. Your non-point guard with 9 assists. That's always used to get me because ever since college, I remember watching Stephen Curry, right? And I remember watching Stephen Curry do his thing. Like, come off the dribble between the legs, break his man down, right? Break his man down and able to finish at the rim. When he can't finish at the rim, he's shooting 3-pointers, right? And then, when it gets to the point where that defense starts to cheat, I remember Stephen Curry making some of the boldest cross-court passes. His court vision was crazy. See, Stephen Curry wasn't just making shots. When he started coming to the league, he just wasn't making shots or taking shots that everybody was considered ill-advised and making them look pretty and routine and normal. He was also making passes that people were considered ill-advised. That he was being considered that he was making look routine. Oh, so Jimmy Butler goes to the ladies. You see him now going to get in his contact. But as he comes down, it looked like he gets tied up with Greg Williams a little bit. Greg Williams comes down, looked like, I don't know if Greg Williams dislocated popped his shoulder out a little bit during the initial contact, or if it happened when he landed. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got Boruto going in the background, and I'm gonna have to go back like 4 or 5 episodes when we're done with this podcast. Shit just got real, and I realized that's the reason why I probably didn't stop it while I was doing the podcast, because shit was getting so real. I'm like, I don't want to miss this. Like I get mad at myself. Like I can't pause shit, right? I can't pause this basketball game. If Jimmy Butler just goes to the line to give the Heat a 6-point lead, we're halfway through the second quarter. A lot of rhetoric gets me pissed off about Stephen Curry because he's such a prolific, because he's the best shooter in history, because he could take you off the bounce, because he can pull up in your face, take you off the dribble, do the get a step back, finish at the rim. He has it all in his offensive repertoire. The only thing I haven't seen him really do, right, is post people up. But other than that, Stephen Curry to me... Wait, did he combine the two? What is going on? Oh. Oh, damn. Okay, sorry. I'm just realizing this new mode that he's in. So, I always get mad at the rhetoric around Stephen Curry when they don't like to consider him like a true point guard, when I've seen him make some of the craziest passes from the one spot, if you want to say that I've seen from a lot of individuals. So I don't like that notion that he's not a point guard. But because, and listen, in a day that he didn't have his scoring going well, you know what he did? He was able to get himself. He was able to get himself 9 assists, right? And not for nothing, he had his boy cooking. We're talking about Sugar Klay Thompson, because apparently somebody must have told Sugar Klay that this was Game 6 or to treat this like a Game 6 because we want to wrap this thing up. Because, Klay Thompson, 32 points, 8 3-pointers, 8 for 16. He was like, I left a couple of them on the as PJ Tucker gets tripped up. And Jaylen Brown catches an inadvertent hand to the face. I'm really sick of this. These unintentional blows that have players out here really acting like soccer players now. For real. Just so the referee can review something. Whatever. That's momentum. That's momentum. I don't see anything happening. They're gonna. What they gonna call? They call it an offensive foul. They're gonna review that for intent. See, this is killing me. I don't even understand how bad. Like we're getting to a time sometimes, right? Where I don't even understand how basketball is even being officiated anymore. Sometimes. Like, I'm sorry, some of you pride yourself on being tough guys and stuff like that. Well, stop trying to sell the contact. I'm sorry, toughen the fuck up. So somebody must have told Klay Thompson that this must have been Game 6. Klay Thompson goes 8 for 16, 1 away from tying his record of 9 3-pointers, and obviously 2 away from breaking it. He could have had 10. He even said that he could have had 10. He puts up 32 points. He was just on fire, folks. Doing what Sugar Klay does. Doesn't need much rebounds. Only had 2 of those. Doesn't need much assists. Only had 3 of those. But he definitely had a steal. You saw him do his defensive thing. If anything, that should be a foul on Brown for the trip. They did call an offensive foul on Tucker. Is that what I'm seeing? I can't even say that's his fault. He got tripped. That caused his body to go out of control. Let's see here. Let's see if they get. Yep, they gave Boston the ball back. He should have hit him with that goddamn rod he was throwing at everybody. All right, so Klay Thompson helps the Warriors get their gentleman suite. Right, and obviously he's not the only person doing this thing. Looney had a. Not Looney. I'm not thinking about Looney. Actually, I am thinking about Looney. Looney had one of these games where I'm looking at Looney like, wait, I'm going to start calling you Looney Rodman. Because Looney was out here grabbing every single board. And you know what? I want to say for the last 3 games, they have really put Looney in a position where it's like, okay, you know what? This is going to be your role. And we need you, obviously, to be a master in your role, in this particular role. And that role is to be big and to get boards. And we've seen other individuals play that role for them before, right? Whether they needed more scoring from that individual or just needed rebounding and blocks. But they've always found a way to get somebody that in the middle that they just need to be big. Bigger than Draymond Green. And as a team, right? They all play their role, and they put Looney in that role. And Looney just grabbed every ball. I'm gonna tell you what I thought was weird. And Knicks fans, you're gonna laugh when I say this, right? And thank you guys for listening to the podcast and watching where you're watching at. Don't forget to go ahead and comment. Don't forget to share. What if you're a Knicks fan? What's gonna make you laugh is that as I'm watching. Nah, that was just a good pick. Damn, they call an offensive foul on that one too. Yo, they are really hurting Miami with these turnovers. So they told Looney just go out there and be big, and Looney went out there and grabbed 18 boards. And Knicks fans, what it looked like the Mavericks were missing was Kristaps Porzingis. Think about that. They got great production from Dinwiddie. Right? I'm talking about great production from Dinwiddie, right? Dinwiddie looked like, you know what? I'm going to be your second guy. Jalen Brunson struggled a little bit, but Dinwiddie came out there and showed, okay, you know what? I've been in these games before. That's what Dinwiddie did. That was the difference between Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson, to be honest with you. Is that Jalen Brunson, this is his first time really in this kind of pressure scenario on this kind of high of a stage. This isn't the first time for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Dinwiddie has not only done this in a big city with bright lights, and granted I think he's only done this like in the first round or something like that, but also he's done this as the primary guy on his team. So you can see that he knew where and what to do. Jalen Brunson, as much as he's going to be coveted coming into the offseason, right? Didn't quite show that didn't quite put on his best performance in this game, where they probably could have used it the most. But they needed it the most. Every game was an elimination game from this point on. Right? Since the last game, every game was an elimination game. Dinwiddie, 26 points. Luka Doncic put up 28 points. Draymond Green should get a lot. I mean, I would say Draymond Green doesn't get enough credit, right? Because between Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins, defensively, those two I want to say were brilliant, were masterful even. When it came to guarding Luka and even their verbal communication when it came to this team, but not just that. Not just them. Also Klay Thompson. Right? Those three guys, when they are around, when they are not only around, when they are around and locked in, right, on defense, and all three of them are in sync. The Golden State Warriors are as good on defense as anybody else, if not better. I know other teams may seem to be more physical than them, like Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, but just because they're more physical than them doesn't mean that they're better. Doesn't mean that they have better communication. Doesn't mean that they're more fluent in their defense. And I think there's a fluidity to mango pineapple. I think there's a certain fluidity to the Golden State Warriors, not just on offense, but also on defense that a lot of teams can't match. The Warriors end up winning this in 5, right? And I'm going to tell you something that I thought was interesting. I knew they were going to lose Game 4. If you did not know they were going to lose Game 4, then I knew they were going to lose Game 4. And part of the reason I knew they was going to lose Game 4 was just because of the simple reason that Stephen Curry, after Game 3, said that Game 4 was house money. Meaning that they didn't have to come out there fully vested. They didn't have to come out there and give the 110%. They didn't have to come in there locked in and giving the kind of effort that the Miami Heat are giving right now to escape elimination. But they knew Boston did. And they knew that, and not Boston, but they knew that the Mavericks did. And that the Mavericks would. So, in a weird way, the Game 4 loss is almost even strategic in its own right. It's almost like, let's see what they have to offer. Let's see exactly that must be a chakra infused. We have Bakugan losers. Right? Let's see what let's see what the Mavs have to offer. Let's see what they're going to use. Let's see how they plan on stopping us for the next 4 games. And it almost looked like for Game 4 that, the Dallas Mavericks, they have a game plan. No, they never had a game plan. They never did. This was always you fucker, you didn't hide yet? This was always an easy matchup. And like I said, I know people may have gotten I know people may have gotten a little excited or may have gotten the wrong idea or even a little too hopeful, caught up in the moment when they saw what Dallas did to Phoenix. But really and truly was the indication, right, of how of what was be level of success wasn't what Dallas did to Phoenix. It was always going to be what the Golden State Warriors did to Denver. Or to Utah. Denver. Let's get those two confused. Oh, damn. Sorry, I just seen the bro Coggy get his ass whooped. What are your assumptions about? Wait a second. What's going on there? What are your assumptions about me? I'll confirm it. Oh, I hate when Twitter be making it seem like somebody's tweeting me or adding me, and it's just some random tweet that they think that they're saying I may find interesting. And I don't find it interesting. I really don't find them interesting. But like I said, yeah, I found it interesting. What I did find interesting was the Warriors' game plan. It was almost like a rope-a-dope, where you let them expose themselves for Game 4, and then in Game 5 you took it seriously. And it wasn't just, okay, now I have an idea of what your new game plan is going to look like. But it's also, you know what? Let's celebrate, right? Let's celebrate on our home court. Let's get the energy from our fans. Let's give our fans a celebration. Let's give them what they have given us. Or let's reward them with a victory here for all the support and all the money and all the energy and everything else that they have given us. Let's give it back the only way that we can. Now, like I said, this game was a blowout. This game was a complete blowout. Now we know that they made a late run. Dallas did. You seen Luka that started just making. Basically, Luka started chucking threes and started making them. He started chucking threes and making them, and that's really how that deficit was reduced in the late portion of that game. But other than that, nah, it wasn't really much. So if we're about to go into the half, Jimmy Butler currently has 21 points in the half, included with 10 from Lowry. Right now, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both have 18. But ultimately, right, regardless of how you want to look at it, when it comes to... Actually, we're not even going to say when you want to look at it. We're not even done here, right? Luka played great, right? Luka did his unstoppable shit that you can't do, right? Spencer Dinwiddie. We already explained to you that Spencer Dinwiddie, he had probably the game of his probably one of the games of his life, of the playoffs, right? He really like he really showed himself to be a commodity worth keeping. Now, even though Jalen Brunson didn't put up the kind of performance that I can share that same sentiment for in this particular game, right? It doesn't mean that he doesn't still have value. And I'm not talking about value to the rest of the league or value coming from a Knicks point of view. We're talking about value to the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban was questioned about Jalen Brunson's status. And what he said is that, you know what? This guy has grown the most under Jason Kidd. Not to mention, I can offer him the most money that anybody else can. So with the combination of thinking that, okay, you know what, you've grown here more than you've grown anywhere. We got a spot here for you, and you've made more. You can make. I could give you more money than anybody else. It sounds like, and it even said it. One of our major priorities is one of his major priorities. One of his priorities is going to be to sign. Is going to be to sign Jalen Brunson to a contract at the end of the year. Now, how does this tie into Knicks? Well, Knicks fans, right? And it sounds like he's more than willing to do it as well. If Jalen Brunson is a restricted free agent, so he can go out anywhere and get a contract. Now, what happens with that contract is that everybody can that any contract that he gets out there, the Dallas Mavericks can match it. So we know Mark Cuban has the money for it. It sounds like he wants to keep this guy because he wants to keep a viable option along with Luka. Now, the only thing about it is that if you do get Jalen Brunson because you managed to outbid Mark Cuban, the team that can give him the most money, right, on a regular contract, and also the team that can match any contract that is given to him. That really means that you gave him a poison pill. And we remember that poison pill. If you're a Knicks fan, you know what I'm talking about. If you remember from the Jeremy Lin days. But you know, like, our poison pill. Like, Jeremy Lin, remember, he was getting, it was something ridiculous, and I may be making it up, but it was something like 22 mil a year, 22 mil, and the very last year, $40 million. That's what the Houston Rockets did to get Jeremy Lin over there. And the Knicks was like, well, we ain't paying this motherfucker no $40 million. I don't care. Like, we don't care if it's 5 years from now or not. He gonna have to prove that he worth $40 million. And I remember, this is part of the reason that had messed up on the Houston Rockets and their salary cap for a while with things like that. So that'll be the only viable way to that I can see anybody getting Jalen Brunson away from the Dallas Mavericks. But you understand, to hand out the poison pill is a double-edged sword. Like, you are gonna get this guy, and you are doing something so drastic, right? Or you're bidding so high that you're like, okay, that I'm gonna win this bet. It's like in Monopoly. It's like, damn, like, you're betting on shit, and I win this bet, and I'm able to bid on this property, and I get it, but then I don't have enough money to pay rent if I going around this board one time if I land on anybody's property. I mean, even if it's only $16, I don't have enough money to put one hotel on here, one house. Actually, if I land on Broadwalk coming up around here, I'm going to have to auction because I don't even have money to buy another piece of property. Things like that. 48-46 at the half, folks. Both teams are perfect from the free throw line. Miami 6 for 6, Boston 13 for 13. This is really going to be an interesting game. Or a really, really interesting game. And I said this once and I said it before. I said it before and I said it again. I really believe that the Dallas Mavericks will missing Kristaps Porzingis. Now, now the thing about it that makes it so ironic is that Kristaps Porzingis really is the type of individual that when he was there, because remember that's the reason why we kind of have faith in Luka, and that's the reason why that year that they played the Clippers, we were like, damn, they were so close. They were so close when Kristaps Porzingis was there. It was no match once he was gone. When they were flowing, and all of a sudden Kristaps Porzingis, my ego. I guess he just wasn't blessed with a big ego like the rest of, like some of us, you know what I mean? But he was like, my ego. Because I got a big ego. Yes, I got a big ego. Oh. So, Kristaps Porzingis honestly probably could have been that X factor to really kind of help them out. You know, I mean, Kristaps Porzingis and Kristaps Porzingis form a big man, a 7'1", 7'3" guy that can shoot the 3-pointer, that can grab rebounds, finish at the rim, pick and roll. You know what I mean? Do it all. And you talk about you add him with, and I know that they had to get rid of some of these pieces, or they got some of these pieces in trade for him. But you talking about you have somebody like him along with a Jalen Brunson and a Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka Doncic on the floor. You put that with Kristaps Porzingis, you know what kind of scoring you have? So it's gonna be a interesting offseason for the Dallas Mavericks as they figure out what do they need to do to improve their team, because as it currently stands, they put up a good fight, but ultimately Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson, Mark Cuban, when it comes to the city of Dallas,
But they are who we thought they were.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby! Baby want a bottle? A big dirt bottle?
Failed this city! You have failed this city! You have failed this city!
You could have just said he was nuts.
You have failed this city!
you have failed your city. But Luka Doncic will be back. That's the thing about it. Luka Doncic will definitely be back. And who knows where he'll be, right, or how far he'll get, but he'll continue to be back in the playoffs, and we'll continue to have this conversation for a couple of years. It's gonna be how many how many years is Luka gonna want to put up with this? Like I said, I find other little things interesting. Like, I wonder if we're gonna ever see other European players. If we're gonna see, that's a shadow clone that you learned. That's dope. I keep coming back to the fact that I wonder if, let's say, Nikola Jokic wants to team up with Luka Doncic, what would that start looking like? Things like that. Rudy Gobert sounds like he's unhappy in his scenario. Let's see what happens there. Now, they needed a center. I don't know if they need Rudy Gobert. I don't know if they need a black hole of offense. But maybe they do, because we saw what that did for the Golden State Warriors. Maybe if you have enough offense, you don't need that guy to be offensive. You just need somebody to match when somebody's out there grabbing 18 boards. Maybe you just need somebody to be big for you. Maybe you need somebody to be a deterrent at the rim for you. Maybe you need somebody to catch a grenade for you, so that you can do the same. Damn. It's crazy. Sorry. I'm going to have to so go back on this Boruto thing. Oh, man. They really did some shit. Where the fuck was I at? Where the hell was I at? Dallas, help, Rudy Gobert. Yeah, I don't know if he's got, but he could be. He definitely could be, based off of, just like I said, the same way that Phoenix has used JaVale McGee, or Golden State Warriors have used JaVale McGee, Or the Golden State Warriors have now just used where the Golden State Warriors have now just used Gevante Looney, right? So Dallas Mavericks, they're gonna be one of those interesting teams to see what they do in the offseason, just because they have one of those stars that you know that you can't waste his talent. Like, and wasting his talent would be right. That would be basically what they call franchise malpractice. So, keep an eye on for Dallas. I doubt, and I definitely doubt that they're gonna. Like I say, I doubt. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be one of those teams that are gonna be making moves in the offseason. Don't be surprised about it. Don't be surprised about anything that you hear about Dallas. Keep an eye out on every disgruntled person. And also, again. Keep an eye out for Bradley Beal. I don't know what that burp was. Ugh. So, imagine what this Dallas team looks like if they add a Bradley Beal. Like, you can still keep, if they manage to still keep the other guys. So now imagine a Spencer Dinwiddie, Jaylen Brown, Luka Doncic, and now Bradley Beal on this team. Or imagine those four guys on the court at the same exact time. And now you just add some kind of center, some kind of big man. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like I said, maybe now you talk about adding a JaVale McGree here. But ultimately, right? They'll continue to. You'll see this team continue to fight. To continue to fight to be a force in the West. Oh. It's vanishing Rasengan. Oh man, this like they really went a good distance here, folks. And we're now back from halftime in this Boston and Miami game, still 48-46. Now speaking of fight, right? Speaking of fighting, we do have a big fight week coming up this week. We do have a big fight coming up this weekend, folks. And who we have now is Gevante Davis, 26-0 Gevante Davis, 24 knockouts. As well as... What the hell is going on here? Oh. He knew what he was doing. Right, 26-0 Gevante Davis taking on Ronaldo Romero, 14-0. Ronaldo Romero has 12 knockouts in his has gotten 12 knockouts in his 14 matches. And Gevante Davis has 24 knockouts in his 26. Now, this is supposed to this is one of those matches between, like I said, between undefeated scrappy guys. We all know the resume of Gevante Davis. Gevante Davis is one of those guys that I feel like he's right on the outside of being in the pound for pound conversation that a lot of other fighters are in. Right? Because oh, damn. Right? Because as I was looking through this, right, as this fight was coming up, and you see Gevante Davis going out there trying to get the lightweight title, right, at 135 pounds in Brooklyn. I was wondering my damn self, where is Gevante Davis, and where might this put him when it comes to the pound for pound talk. And when I started looking for Gevante Davis's ranking, I ended up realizing something. Gevante Davis, in a lot of people's ranking, on a lot of rankings, isn't considered pound for pound one of the top 10 boxers in the world. And no. He is, but I guess he's not top 10. Like Sports Illustrated, I went looking through theirs. I remember we did this. We kind of went looking through this a couple weeks ago when Canelo Alvarez when he lost to Dimitri Bivol, right? When he lost to Dimitri Bivol, initially on at least Sports Illustrated top 10, that moved Canelo Alvarez down to number 2 and moved Terence Crawford up to number 1, and then it moved Dimitri Bivol into the top 10. Now, like I said, I went looking through a couple. Sports Illustrated, like I said, their number 1 is Terence Crawford. Like I said, Canelo Alvarez is number 2. They have Alexandra Usyk as number 3, and I mentioned him because when it comes to Ring TV, they have Alexandra Usyk as number 1 and Terence Crawford number 2. And Canelo Alvarez has dropped down all the way to number 6 in their ranking. Right? Guys like Shakur Stevenson isn't even ranked in their ranking. They have Jermell Charlo at number 10. They have Juan Estrada in at number 5. And Juan Estrada and Charlo isn't really in a lot of people's ranking. Well, Charlo is in at number 10. Dimitri Bivol is 8 and 9 now in Ring TV and CBS's ranking. You get Tyson Fury, generally ranked about the same in almost everybody's ranking, 6, 5, and 5. Now, nobody's ranking is Bud Crawford ranked lower than 3. So in everybody's eyes, he's one of the top 3 boxers in the world. Then I think we even had a couple others as well. Where were they? Right, we had the Ring, BWAA, TBRB, ESPN, and BoxRec, right? And the only ranking, like I said, Sports Illustrated, CBS, and also Ring TV. The only ranking that had him, when I say him, Gevante Davis in the top 10 was the BWAA ranking. So, Gevante Davis, he may be one of those guys. He may be like the Jimmy Butler, right, of boxers right now. Where is he pound for pound top 10? He may not be, but on the right night, you can't tell me that he's not at least number 10. Now, what do I mean? Do I think that Jimmy Butler is a top 10 player in this league? No. Because I don't put Jimmy Butler above LeBron James in a weird way. Even now. He may be close though. Like I said, like if I had to start wherever I'm ranking people in the league right now, he's right there. I can say he's right there with LeBron. I can't say that. I'm being facetious. I really am. But he is doing more to help his team win now more than LeBron James is at this current time. I'm telling you, I'm getting real upset here. I'm reading something that's going on. I'm telling you, if I had the sound, I'll be way more upset. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I just realized something else is happening. Okay, so so Gevante Davis may be like a Jimmy Butler kind of individual to me, where a lot of people really, really like his style. They think that he's one of the best boxers in the world. It's just that they're not really ready to give him all of those roses. But when you squint the right way, boy, you can't tell me he ain't the best. Right? And he's gonna continue to prove that he's one of the best, and he goes and trying to get that lightweight world title. So we'll be watching that fight coming up on Saturday. And man, have we not been having a great run of boxing matches lately? Like I said, we had Canelo Alvarez recently, right? We had Tyson Fury fight recently. Oh man, we have Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford in the mix about to fight soon. I know we just had Jermell Charlo fight not too long ago. Like, we really have had some really great fights, and we got Josh Taylor out there too. Just gotta give it up for the namesake. One time for the one time. I guess it's only Sage mode for you now. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I just saw what is supposed to be the last episode of Kurama on mute. Yeah. They're like 6 episodes I'm gonna have to rewatch, and I'm really emotional disturbed right now that Kurama just died. I don't know what it is about these damn animes. Like, these animes be affecting me more than real life. Like, I really be emotional upset about this thing. Like, yo, Kurama. And then not only that, how you gonna kill Jiraiya Sensei twice? Like, like, y'all some assholes for that one. I guess it's Sage mode. Folks, as we get back to the game, Let's see what happened here. You got Bam Adebayo trying to get through Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum trying to get through Kyle Lowry. Right? But speaking of Brooklyn. Speaking of Brooklyn. It sounds like the Brooklyn Nets have officially put their foot down. Right? And right, wait, hold on one second. One second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Something just happened. Okay. So the Brooklyn Nets have finally decided that they want to put their foot down with Kyrie Irving, and Miami's now on a 7-0 run in the last minute and a half so far. And as I said, that Marcus Smart just drives to the lane. Folks, Miami Heat are currently up by 6, halfway through the third. The Brooklyn Nets have you've heard statements coming out from the Brooklyn Nets recently, right? In the last couple of weeks, in the last month or so. And one of the most interesting statements they probably made, right? And most probably damning statements. Is that my boo yet? No, my boo ain't text me all day. One of the things that they mentioned was that they wanted individuals that wanted to be there full time. Like they needed to know the commitment level of everybody so that they can know how to proceed. Strauss bangs down the 3, then the Heat are up by 12. I ain't gonna lie. Whoever comes out of this series, I don't know how they're gonna hold up to try to win a 7-game series against a Golden State Warriors team that on offense and defense all they know is perpetual movement. So the Brooklyn Nets they first leaked out a statement saying that they need to know they kind of need to know the status on everybody so that they can start making a determination about their off season. Well, very recently, right? And they basically said that we want people that are we want to be all in. We need people that are all in. They tell Kyrie, right, or what is coming out about Kyrie is that we don't know about giving Kyrie Irving a long-term contract, which is one of the things that we discuss here. And listen, don't be surprised if we hear the same thing talked about James Harden. Don't be surprised if you hear the same thing talked about Ben Simmons. These are 3 guys I don't know how you pay. There's a 4th guy that I wasn't aware of. I will talk about him pretty soon. And you don't realize that he's the 4th guy because, well, he himself doesn't sound like he's causing ripples. He just can't stay on the court himself. right? But basically sounds like, obviously, like Kyrie, he's gonna opt into his contract. But then what happens after that? What kind of contract are they willing to do after that? Because it sounds like they're ready to move Kyrie Irving, and they've verbally leaked that they may be ready to move Kyrie Irving if Kyrie Irving isn't ready to buy in fully. So, in a way, right, in a roundabout way, either one of two things is also being said, or we don't realize it. They're also either ready to move on from Kevin Durant as well, or Kevin Durant is also tired of Kyrie Irving's bullshit and is ready to win. Because maybe it's true, Kevin Durant came there to win, and that's his full narrative and his primary objective. And now he realizes for Kyrie Irving, his primary, keyword on primary objective, may not be on winning an NBA championship in a new franchise. He's already climbed that mountain. What more is there to prove? Kyrie Irving's words. Kevin Durant, he wants this mountain. He still has more to prove. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Brooklyn Nets team in this offseason as we keep an eye on. There's so many guys we're going to keep an eye on. Because you know what? Again, what if he goes to Washington on a sign and trade? Imagine that. Send him to Washington. He could be right there in the nation's capital, amongst all of those politicians and people of high power that he wants to be with. I forgot it's Memorial Day. The fireworks have started in South Florida. I have to text a couple of people and find out. Like, some people told me that they had family coming down in town, and I have not heard from them at all. So I have to find out if their peoples already came and they left, or if I missed something. Right? Did I miss their phone call? Or have they not come there? Maybe they're coming for Memorial Weekend, and maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Now there's another guy, right? That their contract and their contract negotiations are being that's a clean block. Are being discussed. That's a clean block. Right? Are being discussed and under scrutiny and under consideration. That's one Zion Williamson. Yeah, I know, weird, right? But there's also talk about Zion Williamson's contract. And the thing about Zion Williamson's contract, I'm telling you. I told you not to be surprised if we start hearing about things like this happening because of guys like Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, and James Harden. So the owner of the New Orleans Pelicans is also the owner of the New Orleans Saints. And what they are discussing is what is being rumored as being discussed is that for Zion Williamson's contract, his rookie extension, that it is not a fully guaranteed contract. That it has playing time incentives in there to make it match what your peers get. It has game incentives to match what your peers like. It may have things in there to protect themselves in case you blow out another shoe within the first 20 games of this new season. Because also we just got word that Zion Williamson is now cleared for all activities and cleared to play, no restrictions whatsoever. And obviously we're talking about contract negotiations time. Right? We're getting right around that time. Because if we're talking about what we're going to do with R.J. Barrett, that means we're also talking about what we're going to do with Zion Williamson. Because remember, he hasn't gotten quite paid yet either. You see John Morant get his dough. Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett haven't gotten their extension yet either. R.J. Barrett is probably going to qualify for about $181 million, and that's probably around the same thing that Zion Williamson is probably going to qualify for. Now, how much of that $181 million are they willing to make guaranteed? And how much of it are they going to put in incentives to try to get the most out of, see if they can get the most out of that player? And if this is really what's going on, right? And granted, you don't have to, like, Zion Williamson can say, fuck that, I'm not going to do this, and not sign that contract. And we know that there's going to be another team out there, another franchise that is willing to give Zion Williamson a 100% guaranteed contract and look the other way. We just seen Brooklyn do it for Ben Simmons. In a weird sense. So, wouldn't be surprised. So, I would say wouldn't be surprised. It'll be interesting to hear if that happens. And then if that happens, what is going to be the course of action from the stars that are being offered, or the players that are being offered these contracts? Because if you're a guy like Zion, you're like, hey, you know what? If you're a guy like Zion, you're like, you know what? Maybe you can probably risk it and say, hey, I go somewhere else. Somebody give me a guaranteed contract. But let's say you're a guy like... Damn. I'm trying to think. Who could... I don't want to say disrespect. But... if you're a team out there, are you willing to give James Harden a 4 or 5 year contract guaranteed? Or is there something else there? Or would you come into line where if this is what your team is offering you with these kind of incentives, we're only gonna try to match something like that? Maybe we'll give you more, but match it, but still not give you 100%. Who knows? That would be the thing. Like, who would, like, it would be like one of these Williams guys, right? It would have to be like just somebody just good enough to be like, okay, you know what? I've had these issues. I can understand you not wanting to give me a fully guaranteed contract, because what ultimately ends up happening, which other player gets off of that contract, you really do need 29 teams to fall in line. Not to say that, oh, we're not going to sign you. To fall in line and be like, yeah, we're going to offer you something similar. And listen, let it rather be, oh, there's only 2 teams out there that's willing to keep doing this. And it'll be that and it'll be that 1 or 2 teams that all right, it'll be those 1 or 2 teams that you realize, like, okay, that franchise has always ran bad. And then you see that players may not even want to go there because, you know what I mean? I maybe get my money, but that's about it. Like, who knows? And that's a foul. And he made that. So Zion Williamson, we'll see if the Saints, the NFL owner, is willing to try to give an NBA player an NFL laden contract And then let's see what that player does. Like I said, for Zion Williamson, you just know. See, for Zion Williamson, I think that's a bad move if it's Zion. Because for Zion, I believe that you have 25 plus teams that are willing to give him a guaranteed max contract. And if they do try to give him a contract like an NFL team does, that you'll have way too many in the minority be like, oh yeah, we'll do this. We're gonna do the same thing. You need to find a guy that the majority of you guys will do that for, so it can start becoming a pattern. Because I'm telling you right now, in a weird ass way, I'm down for that. I really am. Because you can't keep having what happened with like Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden happened to you. Like I said, there's a lot of and listen, and I'm all for it. We've seen in the past rule changes come about because of players and their guaranteed contracts and their unavailability. We have seen rules come about to help teams get out of financial restraints and financial handcuffs because of players and their unavailability after giving them guaranteed contracts. Like I said, guaranteed contracts isn't guaranteed in the NBA. It just has become the norm. So now they're gonna have to try to find a way to get the norm reversed back where, okay, I'm only giving it to some of you. There's only a handful of guys that deserve guaranteed contracts. And even those guys can't guarantee themselves guaranteed contracts to the whole entire guarantee of their guaranteed career. That's all I'm saying. And I'm here all for it. Because some of these guys, we see it more times than anything, especially nowadays with the amount of kind of money going around in sports. These guys don't want to play ball. Right? Whether it's football, basketball, whatever. These guys really don't want to play ball. It's just that the money is great. And they're tall, or they're whatever they are. Did he pick it up and put it right back in? He did. We just saw Nick Strauss drop his mouthpiece, and he picked it up and got a pillow right back in. That was funny. So back to what I was saying. That's gonna be the most. That's gonna be one of the things I'll really love to see. In a weird ass way, 'cause I just want to see how the scenario plays out, and I want to start seeing, like, you know what? I want to go back to a point where, you know what, these guys that are making all NBA teams, maybe those are the guys that are only guaranteed contracts. These 15 guys that are making the all NBA team. Those, those 10 guys that are making the all rookie team. Those 10 people that are making the all defensive team. Like, maybe you start there of guaranteeing those guys contracts. And listen, that would mean that James Harden gets a guaranteed contract. Now, I mean, Zion Williamson may get a guaranteed contract. But those would be the first people that I will even consider. Everybody else, yeah, we putting you back on NFL rules. But also, it isn't that everyone else that you have to worry about. Because you usually don't give those guys a big enough contract that you have no problem releasing them, or that they're handcuffing your team financially. It's usually the guys that can qualify. It's usually the guys that can qualify for a max contract because they have that kind of clout due to their play, are the ones that usually end up being, you know what's so funny? I just saw a commercial for something that I have written down that I wanted to research as a possible investment. Interesting. It was the Aura rings. I didn't know that CP3 was the person of the Aura rings, but I have that written down somewhere as an investment that I want to look into. The fuck? Okay, that means I definitely may have to. But damn, it's CP3 though. I don't. No, let me stop. Because I was about to take a shot at him through business, due to his on-court play, and while he may not be able to get them rings in his on-court play, he's definitely get those rings in his off-court business moves, right? And business deals and endorsements. Can't knock him there. Can't knock him there for shit. Can't even poke fun anywhere. Smoke break. This is gonna be interesting. Like I said, this is gonna be. If you're, that's what I always say to people. If you're a fan of your sport, right? If you're a true fan of your sport, then there's some minutia, right? That you go through it, right? As right for your sport. There's some like minor details, right? Some very intricate things that you only really find interesting if you're a true fan of that sport, because you start loving all of the intricacies of your sport. And I feel like every year there's a reason to be. There usually be a reason to be excited about the off season. And I find this offseason to be very interesting to me already. Like I said, there's been names I've already been watching all offseason, like I said, I mentioned them before, about like Bradley Beal. Then you add names like Jalen Brunson. Then you have to add teams like obviously like Brooklyn and LA and the Knicks and Dallas and Denver and Utah. Figure out what they're gonna do, and Golden State, and see what happens there. Then you're talking about the signing of your young stars, and the signing of your old stars, and the signing of your medium stars, and how they're gonna fit. You have that all planned out and all to look forward to. And what we have tonight, folks, is Boston and Miami. And Boston and Miami being the 1 and 2 seed in the East, giving us a head-to-head matchup that you only could be happy for. It's a 7-point game. They just started the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum takes a 3-point shot. That wasn't Jason Tatum. That was some of a light-skinned guy on the team with a fro. But that's good. 78-82. Miami lost that last game 93-80, and it didn't look that close. Now, this was the first time that a team won back-to-back games in this series. Before then, this has been back and forth the whole entire time. Jimmy Butler looked like he tried to draw a foul, and he did. Jimmy Butler definitely sold that one. Came off, he beat Al Horford. Jump shot. Catches him jumping. Oh no, he caught him. He banged it. He hit his knee. Caught him landing. Because Jimmy Butler didn't jump into him. He didn't. He just jumped. Are they reviewing that for contact? We'll see. So, Stuart Scott. So we got Boston, Miami. So Miami lost their last game 93-80. Right? And that game 5 win for Boston was the first time that a team had won back-to-back games. Before then, this whole entire series had been going back and forth. And in game 5, right, Miami played a good first half, and I guess that's the reason why in a lot of these games, right, depending on who's playing, I'm generally not even trying to react or think about reacting or think about really what the score is until we get somewhere through the third quarter, because that third quarter has really been a determining factor for a lot of these series. And that's what happened here in this game right here. Like in game 5, this game was close. This game was actually close through the first half. Miami was up by 5 at that point in time. But in the third quarter, they got outscored by 16 points, and Boston never looked back. They came out and they made a second half adjustment. And for 2 straight games, we saw tentative Jimmy. Like we saw soft Jimmy. That he was straight pushing rope. He saw the kind of Jimmy Butler that when he was driving into the lane, instead of looking through the contact, like we see right here, right? Instead of doing his pump fake and making through the contact and getting that little extra shoulder lean in, what he was doing instead was taking 2 dribbles into the lane and passing it out. And then guys like Strauss and PJ Tucker and everybody else, they just wasn't hitting their shots enough early. And Jimmy Butler hadn't done anything enough to get his own self in rhythm. We see the complete opposite of that in this game. Jimmy Butler went out from the very beginning going after his, trying to get points. If I'm not mistaken, if I said it earlier, he had 21 points or something like that in the first half. All it was, right, 2 straight games, in the second half, the Miami Heat didn't have the will of fire. For a team that named Heat is in it, they didn't have the will of fire as I'm watching Naruto. You guys have to understand here. Keep up. But also, did they not show that they possess enough will? Right? They also... Oh, no, yeah, definitely. Right? They definitely did not show that they had enough will.
Keep my name out your fucking mouth!
Okay. Now he's even sensitive about his name. And I didn't say your name. I said the will of fire.
Keep my name out your fucking mouth!
Okay. Jimmy Butler right now, 32 points, 11 for 21. So, on top of them just playing with more determination, right? Playing with a little bit more contact. Grant Williams, 15 minutes, no points, 5 fouls. And that's their enforcer. That's the guy that's supposed to be keeping Bam Adebayo in check. Or that's the guy that has been keeping Bam Adebayo in check over the last 2 games. PJ Tucker pump fakes the 3, takes it off the dribble, go take 2 dribbles inside. That's what I gotta work on in 2K. Come off the dribble, right? Come off the 3-point line, 2 dribbles, floater. That's the reason why I gotta get that floater up. 2 dribbles, floater. Maybe I take off. I gotta figure out what I gotta take off to get that floater. But it wasn't just their calm down. Understand what I'm gonna say here again. It wasn't just their will of fire that they it wasn't just the will of fire and just more moxie that they played with. They also played smarter basketball at that time. Right? And they stopped the turnovers. They stopped with the fucking petty turnovers. In that first half, I couldn't tell you how many turnovers that Boston had. I mean, I probably can. I could have take a peek and look. But it was ridiculous. Every time that you looked up, it was turnover. Game 7, Sunday night, 8:30. Oh, that's the day I gotta be. I'm hoping I'm done with my deliveries. Well, like early. I'm hoping not to have any more deliveries after 8:30. Seriously, like, I'm gonna bust my ass that day. I'm gonna try to get one like at 3, one from like 10 to 2, and another one from like 4 to 8. Trying to do like 3-4 hour shifts. Yeah, that's what I try to do. 3 to 7, 10 to 2, 3 to 10 to 2, and then 4 to 8, some shit like that. I'll be willing to do 5 to 9. Damn it, that's gonna be your only form from here on out, Naruto. A Sage mode. Yeah, See, again, I'm already at that point. What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Right. So really, what it is like they stopped the turnover. And they took care of the ball. Again, see, I'm saying this is just a game of runs. Like this is as heavyweight matches as you're gonna have when you're talking about basketball games, right? Miami versus Boston. Again, like we're talking about another possibly series classic that they could be having. The Boston Celtics have gone on another run. You see DJ White just miss his foul shot, but it looks like they may call over the back on PJ Tucker on that. And Boston Celtics have reduced this lead down to 4. PJ Tucker draws another foul. They sit him down for a while. Let's see what happens here. Wait, what? What the fuck did they call? Greg Williams just got sandwiched on a free throw. That's all that was. What's going on, Guds? I see you. You're on the podcast. You know how we do here. I'm over here trying to talk sports. The stuff that I planned on talking about, while at the same time watching Miami and Boston currently, while also finally keep watching episodes of Boruto. And I don't know why I didn't turn this shit off before I started the podcast, because this shit also got me distracted. Like, this shit just started getting good. I don't know why it took 200 fucking episodes for this motherfucker to get good, but it took 200 fucking episodes for it to get good. And I almost had an emotional moment here on the podcast because I saw some shit that happened. I'm gonna have to relive that shit with the sound on, but everything's good. We getting ready to wrap up soon. I think we're only doing a 2-hour podcast today. Alright, so I think I'm about to wrap up here about in the next 14 minutes. I'm telling you, I wanna catch the rest of this podcast. What's going on, Jen? What's going on, sweetheart? Miss you. How you been? Come visit one day. So, what's going on there? So that's really what it was. Like they made their half court adjustment, and what their half court adjustment was, or not their half court adjustment. They made their halftime adjustment, and part of their halftime adjustment was just to take care of the ball. And that's a lot of what it boiled down to. Now, if you're talking about today, as far as for today and how these teams are gonna win today, we're seeing it. We're actually seeing it. Miami couldn't afford to be tentative, and not even so much that Miami couldn't afford to be tentative. Jimmy Butler couldn't afford to be tentative. See, they already got Kyle Lowry back, and Kyle Lowry is almost like he's a neutralizer of Marcus Smart. They're basically they're the same individuals in two different bodies. Right? And that's really what they are. They're the same kind of player. They have that same, when we talk about players with the same DNA, right? They may do it at different levels, but individuals definitely have the same DNA. But that's Marcus Smart and Kyle Lowry. They kind of have the same DNA, and they affect the game almost the same exact ways. They needed Lowry to be able to counteract Marcus Smart. But while he's over there neutralizing Marcus Smart, you have to have Jimmy Butler being fully aggressive. But also, part of Jimmy Butler being fully aggressive is having Kyle Lowry there to be able to take some of the point guard duties off of him. Because with no Kyle Lowry, then Jimmy Butler becomes primary ball handler. And we're not just talking about once you get into your half court set, that we're gonna give it to you in your space so that you can do your work, you know what I mean? And you're the one that's gonna primarily be engaging the offense. We're talking about no. Now you become the guy that also brings the ball up. So now when they're pressing somebody 94 feet, that's you. That they're pressing 94 feet. It's not just you having a body on you right outside the 3-point line, and now that's the first time that you're feeling contact. Like, no. Now it's... Oh, yeah, that's definitely a charge. Yeah, but now it's you trying to bring the ball up, and then you may pass it up to now get it back at the wing to now go through another series of contact, or you just see the play and you get into the contact initially, and now you're trying to do that all game. You needed him. Also, Victor Oladipo should also be able to help with a lot of those primary duties. See, there's a reason why there was a time in the NBA when, and they still do this now, but there's a time in the NBA when they started making your shooting guards and a lot of your small forwards. We see it done with R.J. Barrett, right? You start training them to be... You start training them to also be ball handlers as well. You know why? Because not only does it help them in their half-court offense, but when something happens to your point guard, or if let's say they get a rebound, now they also have the capability of bringing the ball up. Damn. They are really, really coming down on using that offhand on on your drives. It must have been a point of emphasis, either in the off season or no. Come on. You knew that was about to happen. You knew that was gonna happen. You knew that was gonna happen. I don't even know why you tried doing that, Strauss. Because again, see what happened. So I'm gonna give you this series of play and let you know how this works out, right? And it's funny, like you can recognize some of the names we just talked about. Jason Tatum goes to score the ball, right? And on what should have been an and one, they called it an offensive foul, saying that he pushed off on his offhand, right? Now obviously this is a play that they disagree with, but it's what happened. So on the other end, what happens is that now you have Jimmy Butler with the ball. He has Marcus Smart on him. That's a foul. That's an intentional foul. They ran into him. They tried to take him out. Nah, he just bulldozed into him. Did he even go after the ball? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna call a technical on that one. Fuck. See, they lucky. That's something I would call a technical on. I ain't gonna lie. Because he didn't go after the ball. Like, he really just kind of like, that's something he could call a technical on. That was a retaliation play. But, so, now we see the pick by Marcus. Now we see Marcus Smart on Jimmy Butler. And we get Nick Strauss, and we get Strauss trying to set a pick on Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart being the kind of player that he is, you knew that any contact coming off of that pick, that he was going to over-exaggerate it. Knew it. I just, like, you knew that was going to happen. If I'm Strauss, I'm not even trying to, damn, where's the foul at? They whacked him on his head. And you knew that was gonna happen. So that was that series of plays that you heard me say, like, I don't even know why you did that. Now since then and since that long ass time, like, we just finally have Boston finally scored a bucket on the free throw line. Jaylen Brown 19 points. Jaylen Brown had 18 points in that. Was it in the first half? Or was it in the first? Yeah, by the end of the first half, he had 18 points. Yeah, because we talked about Jimmy having 21 and Lowry having 10, and Tatum and Jaylen Brown both having 18. I just don't know what to do with my life now after the Mavs lost. Well, you know what? I'm gonna hate to say this, but how about them Cowboys? Like, you still got them. like, hold your chin up. He's got the cow. But I feel you. Listen, it was I'm gonna let you know. Like, I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, Goods, but I am being nice. I am. The chance that a lot of people saw Dallas having, I didn't see it. I kind of saw this. I kind of saw this gentleman sweep coming. I really did. I really did. And you know what's crazy? You guys miss Kristaps Porzingis in a weird ass way. Like, for as good as Dallas has been over these years, right? And for what people remember Luka being in the playoffs, it was when he had Kristaps Porzingis. Like, the Luka Doncic that people remember almost beating the Clippers, it was Luka Doncic with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis. It was because Kristaps Porzingis went out injured why they failed in that comeback attempt. And that's the key portion people forget about. Love Luka. Not talking bad about Luka. I'm just saying that it's the portion that they forget when they talk about Luka's greatness. Is that, okay, yes, he's this good and he's this great and he can do this and he's able to put up these numbers and able to get you this far and he almost beat the Clippers team, but you forget every single time that you thought he was about to get through a round, it was when Kristaps Porzingis was there, and all of a sudden Kristaps Porzingis couldn't stay healthy, and then next thing you know they fit like they can't complete what looks like to be a series that they should win or a comeback. But the reason why Kristaps Porzingis ain't there now either because he's unreliable. Let's see, being honest, they didn't even think they would make it as far as they did. No, yeah, you had a hell of a run at the listen, like Boston did. Like, you guys had a hell of a run at after the All-Star break. Like, kept that momentum, right? You faced Phoenix, like nobody even thought like you was gonna get through Phoenix. Like, that was the first caveat. But you know, if you know Chris Paul, then you know he's just a stick of dynamite. You're just waiting for the explosion. Like he is gonna be. See, he is somebody that I can't fully be nice to because, like, he is the originator of the
You have failed this city.
And then James Harden became Mr.
You have failed this city.
And unfortunately, like, listen, I am an equal opportunist, and this goes for every single round of every single playoff. Even Luka can catch it at the end of a gentleman sweep because I'm not the gentleman that swept you. So
you have failed this city.
But they did good. It was alright. Listen, just know that you did better than Brooklyn. And Brooklyn has Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons. Like, that's always just always remember that. You did better than the Lakers. And the Lakers have LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Camilla Anthony, and Anthony Davis. Like, Barkley has come out of retirement to play with the Suns. Listen, if he comes out of retirement to play with the Suns, it's only to throw things in the crowd. He's gonna be their new T-shirt guy. Oh man. Like, so it's funny, right? Because I mean the Miami Heat are still playing. Jimmy Butler takes a three as this game is tied 94-94, 5 minutes left to go. And we're about to end the podcast probably in the next 3 minutes or so. Probably one of the most interesting things, as I told you guys, if you're really a fan of basketball, every little thing that matters, right? When you're a fan of your sport, like all the little intricacies of the sport, all of them intrigue you. Right? And the off season this year, I still believe is going to be a very intriguing off season. And then you get somebody that's not playing in this series or not even playing anymore, add to the spice. Oh, well, I may be back. I don't know how far back I am because I just saw a 3-pointer get hit by Boston. It's now 97-94, but it was tied 94-94 right before they went to commercial. Or right before, yeah. And then they hit this 3-pointer, and then he went to commercial. So, like I said, like I stream everything. So, like I never know how far back in my stream I am. But somebody that added to the intrigue of this offseason is Joel Embiid. Joel, after the Game 5 loss for the Miami Heat, Joel Embiid tweets, "Damn, Jimmy Butler could use some help out there." Now, we know that he's not taking shots at Bam Adebayo. We know he's not taking shots at PJ Tucker or Nick Strauss or Victor Oladipo or the Sixth Man of the Year award or Tyler Hero. Then he's not taking shots at any of those guys. We know this, right? What it does sound like, though, as if he is campaigning to try to get over there. Then I ask you, damn, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Or to get Joel Embiid on your team if you're the Miami Heat? Heat fans, I'm going to start questioning you guys and start taking a toll. What would you give up to get Joel Embiid? I want you guys to think about that. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Don't worry, I will be joining you Memorial Day night. We will be podding that day. I'm not going to leave you without a dope pod to step to. But as far as tonight goes, folks, we are done for tonight. I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I do appreciate you guys listening wherever you may be listening from and however you may be choosing to listen. As the boy and Toby and Wigwig says, I hope you continue to catch a wave that never subside. And as I like to say, I hope you continue to transform yourself into the kind of person that you would want to work for you. Thank you again. Enjoy. Love you all. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to tell you enjoy. Maybe because I wish my DJ would play my outro so I can stop motherfucking rambling.
Sorry, B. I tried.
And I can get back to watching Naruto. Cause some shit is happening. Some shit is happening in Boruto, and I'm telling you, like, oh my god.
No.
If I wasn't on the air when this happened, if I had the sound on, you guys probably would have saw me crying right now on the air. Like, folks, game is tied again. 97-97. Miami with the ball in their hand. Kyle Lowry, 16 points, so he scored 6 points just a half.
Last of the real gabbers.
See Bam Adebayo trying to get past Al Horford. We didn't even get to a topic that we really wanted to talk about, and that is the next series matchup. Let's see what we'll talk about on Monday.
Improved MyT Podcaster. Party down now. Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't want to go far. Wild night. Tired.
It's a lot better.
Tired. MyT
Sports. Yeah, this is a much better game for Kyle Lowry. Wasn't he like 1 for 28 over the last 2 games? Good lord. I don't know why people like him. All I do is vin.